Everybody come see us on tour. We'll be in Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
I mean, this is exactly what I said to Chris Hedges when I was talking with him. I said, I have to have hope. I can't live without it. And the only hope I have is that someone's trying to kill Donald Trump. So the deep state tried to kill him twice. So that gives me some hope for some change. And it looks like I was right. But here's the bigger question. To me, they're not. Are they going to confirm Matt Gaetz? Are they going to confirm Tulsi Gabbard? Are they going to confirm Bobby Kennedy? They're not going to confirm these guys, right? I mean, that's all that. Isn't that their next play?
But, I mean, first of all, I can't tell Donald Trump's people what to do. But if you're watching, here's a hint. Tell the Senate and tell the senators you're going to get one shot to make yourselves relevant. I'm going to put these guys up and I'm going to demand a recess appointment. And if you say no, you're going down. I will primary you. Elon Musk is going to fund every bad. You're going down. You'll never welcome here again. Plus, you're going to lose because you see, once you reject it, if I ask for a recess appointment and you reject it, and I put my people up there, I'm just going to say vote it down, up or down right now, and you'll vote no. And then what the president gets to do, and I forget the exact language, but he gets to appoint somebody through the Vacancies Act for 240 days, and then extend it another 240 days. That's 480 days. That's more than a year and a half. Or that's about a year and a half. And that's what Trump's going to do. And you know how much damage Matt Gaetz can do as Attorney General in 480 days? He can destroy the department. This is going to happen, Jimmy. Everybody that he wants in is going to be in because Donald Trump isn't playing around. This isn't business as usual. This isn't a psyop. This is a revolution. And he has told them, these people are sitting in that chair and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Nothing. And they can't.
Let me ask you something. As someone who's much more comfortable living without hope than most of the people on the panel, you say it's 1 in 14 million. It sounds like you're more optimistic than that. But I tend to, and like your metaphor of the gun with every chamber loaded, Russ will tell you, and I swear on my life I did not steal this from you. I used the exact same metaphor. That Biden was the revolver with every chamber loaded. What's that?
I stole it from you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that explains it. Case solved. Biden was the playing Russian roulette with every chamber hot, and with Trump there was one chamber empty. That's how I described it. Now that's kind of still where I'm at, but you seem more optimistic than that, as much as you keep reverting to the 1 in 14 million Avengers metaphor.
Look, and let me just get it while you answer that. Why is Zionism the one thing that is just absolutely inviolate?
Well, let me go to the 1 in 14 million. Let me start off again by saying that I am not a MAGA guy. I am not a Donald Trump guy. I don't like him. I don't think he's normally he's not a good president. He's not somebody that I would want to put on the ballot because I was somebody that believed in giving the system a chance. We're going to do it again. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I was the moron that went into the election booth and dutifully marked the boxes and then sat there and went, why isn't anything changing? I can't believe this. Okay, Donald Trump, it became apparent that he was going to be in a position to win this election. And I looked at Joe Biden, I looked at Kamala Harris, and I said, that's just going to be the same. But then I also ran the numbers. Again, I point to that Andy Jacobson book behind you, Nuclear War. I ran the numbers, and every time I ran it 14 million times, just like Dr. Strange, Kamala Harris got us into a nuclear war. Every single time she got us into a nuclear war. And I said, my God, we can't do this. It has nothing to do with domestic policy, this, that, and the other thing. It has to do with the fact that if we vote her in, we all die, and it's guaranteed. And I looked at Donald Trump, and I said, there's a chance that he can stop a nuclear war. He's the only one. Again, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I did communicate with Bobby Kennedy during the campaign, sent him a text asking him to bring nuclear conflict up. Bobby Kennedy did more than that. He sat down with Donald Trump Jr. and they published an op-ed piece in The Hill. They're the only major campaign that did this, to commit publicly to a policy that said we want to bring an end to the war in Ukraine and we want to stop a nuclear war. And I went, my God, there it is. That's the 1 in 14 million right there. That's it. They're the only ones who did it. And at that point in time, I said, you got my vote. And now the more I watch, because now that I'm committed, see, I'm one of the most loyal guys you'll ever meet in your life. When I sign up for the brand, I ride for the brand, I'm riding for the brand. All right. Donald Trump is my commander in chief right now. Donald Trump is my guy. I voted for him. My job now, of course, I will hold him to account. That's what all Americans are supposed to do. But my job is to help Donald Trump succeed. In order to do that, I have to learn more about Donald Trump. Because, see, I wasn't too thrilled about learning more about Donald Trump before, because I didn't really like him as a candidate. But now he's my president. And the more I listen to him, the more I know Bobby Kennedy Jr. personally. He's a good guy. I had to back off supporting him for president because of his support for Israel. And he knows that. He knows that. Tulsi Gabbard, we communicate. I'm enthralled with Tulsi Gabbard. I can't support her for president because of Israel. I mean, she's all there. This gets into, but my point is, there are good people around Donald Trump. There are good, competent people around Donald Trump. And that gives me hope that this isn't going to be Mike Pompeo and John Bolton. This is a new crowd. And Marco Rubio, he's the Zionist thing. You can't get involved in mainstream politics today in America because the Jewish lobby, the Zionist lobby.
We make that mistake ourselves sometimes, don't we?
I apologize because I am not anti-Semitic. I
swear to God, I've done that many times.
What I tell people right now is, if people threaten the synagogue downtown that says we stand with Israel, they're out there doing their whole pro-Israel thing. If people threaten that synagogue, I will be on the front lawn defending them with my life, because they have a right to believe in what they want, and you can't shut them down. You have to let them speak. Free speech is absolute for everybody, and you can't suppress religion in this country either. And I would do the same thing for Muslims, and I would do the same thing for anybody, any religion, because America has to have that kind of freedom. But unfortunately, the Israeli lobby has a lock on America today when it comes to politics, and it's impossible. You can sneak a couple people into Congress, and we've seen that. How many can you sneak into the Senate? Have you found one strongly anti-Israeli senator? I can't find one. I find some that can criticize, but none that jump out. And to be president, you can't get anywhere near it. They will shut you down. You'll have no chance, because you'll spend your whole time engaged in a debate that you're not going to win, because mainstream media won't let you win. And so it's a losing proposition. I think a lot of the people that are sitting there talking about Israel inside, I'll give you an example. I think Donald Trump knows the truth. I've heard him say that there needs to be a settlement, and there's only one side that won't negotiate, and that's Israel.
That's right. Yep.
So he knows where the problem is, but he knows too that he can't get elected. If he sits there and says that and makes this part of his platform, that's all they'll be talking about. All this other revolutionary change that he wants to get done, that will never be discussed. He'll be spending the whole time defending himself with Piers Morgan saying, "Do you condemn Hamas?" And all this kind of stuff. So it's political survival that's done. And I don't agree with it, but I think it's just the reality of it. I do think that you're going to see Donald Trump be far more creative when it comes to Israel than Joe Biden, because he did give a promise to the American people to keep us out of a war. And Israel is one of those scenarios where we could end up at war with, Iran, Yemen, Iraq, etc. And he said he doesn't want that. So in order to do that, he's going to have to bring about a change in how Israel behaves. And that's going to be done, I think, coercively. and it'll be done behind the scenes. He'll continue to fly over there, put on his yarmulke, go to the Wailing Wall and weep. But he will also meet with Benjamin Netanyahu or his alternative and look him in the eye and say, no, try it.
I mean, in terms of a global escalation, I think once again the metaphor of the one empty chamber in the gun is probably apt. In terms of Gaza's fate, I don't see any different. I don't see any reason for optimism on that front, and I think that is look. I've made my priorities known on that, which is why I couldn't vote for Donald Trump. It was just a non-starter for me. But what I go back to here is the tweet here. You know, I think more than, my opinion at least, more than investing hope in Donald Trump, I think now the message has to be, it really falls to his supporters. It falls to the MAGA base to make it known to him that, look, we're here for that 1 in 14 million chance. And if you want to intervene to stop this thing between Russia and Ukraine before it gets out of control to the point where you may not be able to govern at all, even if you're sworn in, Scott, as you were mentioning earlier, now's time for the MAGA base to step up. Yes, they should be, I agree, surrounding the White House right now. I mean, there should, in a sane society, as soon as he authorized those missile strikes, there'd have been 20 million people flooded the streets within an hour.
Should have been.
Everybody come see us on tour. We'll be in Columbus, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.